So Peter, how did you come up with that onesie anyway? It's not a onesie, but a really interesting story, Mrs. Stark. You want to hear it?
Needs more color. Ah! Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I need a name. Spider... Bruh.
You were gonna call yourself Spider Bruh? It sounded cool at the time. What about you, Mrs. Stark? How did you come up with, you know, the Iron Man suit? My suit? You don't want to hear it. Welcome back to another 86th Reviews review. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. Today we take a look at the SH Figuarts Homecoming Spider-Man Homemade Suit Spider-Man. This was released last year along with the Homecoming Iron Man, which came in a 2-pack, but I picked this guy up just on its own. And taking a look at the packaging, being a Tamashii Nations web shop exclusive, it's just the box and no display window, but I do like the bright colors and Spider-Man motifs that they have carried over from the Tech Suit Spider-Man box. Here are the sides, and here is the back of the box. So at first glance, the figure does look a little bit plain, being mainly molded in bright red and muted blue plastic. But when you take a closer look, you can see all the small details, such as the nicely molded spider symbol, which is painted very cleanly in a black, the molded zipper, which is also painted in a gunmetal silver, the intricately sculpted web shooters, which are also painted in a gunmetal and red. They even went as far as to mold and paint the web shooter trigger on each set of hands that this set does come with, which I thought was a nice little touch. Figuarts did a fantastic job with the rest of the sculpt work, all the creases on his sweatshirt and sweatpants, all the lines and seams in his hoodie, and on his socks or boots, whatever you want to call them. Even the gloves have the web pattern sculpted on. I really like the proportions on this Spider-Man. He is slim without being too skinny, and he really sells that teenage body. For me, I really think they nailed it this time around and really captures how this suit was represented in the movie. Compared to the Figuarts Tech Suit Spider-Man, I think the homemade suit balances aesthetics and articulation much better. And I think a large part of that has to do with the fact that the suit is essentially just civvies, you know, normal clothes. So all the cuts that they make for the articulation can be a little bit more forgiving compared to a figure, which is essentially a naked body with, you know, tights over it. Still, you do get a jarring gap in the lower torso when you bend it forward, but it does allow for some fantastic ab crunch, which a Spider-Man figure does need to pull off all those Spider-Man poses. For the head articulation, we get left and right rotation, head tilt, Some good movement looking down, but up not as great, which makes those crouching poses a little bit more difficult to pull off. The shoulders are on a ball joint, which give it a butterfly movement. The arms are connected on a ball hinge, which is a little tight, but allow it to move up to 90 degrees. 360 rotation. No bicep swivel, but you can still achieve that movement because of the ball hinge. Double jointed elbows. Web shooters swivel, hands swivel, and of course are hinged as well. Upper and lower torso are on ball joints, which allow a great range of movement. Spidey can do the splits this much, kick forward 90 degrees, but can't kick at all backwards because of the way the butt is molded. We get upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, foot swivel, up and down, toe articulation, and some really good ankle tilt.
What he doesn't know is, I know how to spin a special web as double insurance. Comes midnight, there'll be a showdown that'll go down.
For accessories, we get 5 sets of hands, 2 fisted hands, a set of wall crawling hands, 2 relaxed hands, a pair of web holding hands, and a couple of hands that I've never seen him do in the movie that I'll probably never use on my figure as well. And a pair of thwipping hands. Spidey gets 3 web lines, short, medium, and long.
As though my entire body is charged with some sort of fantastic energy. Catch just one.
A soft plastic hood piece which you can replace really easily with a unhooded piece, like so.
That's just too far-fetched.
And a connector piece for a figure arts display stand for all those jumping and web swinging poses. You can also use the backpack that came with a Tech Suit Spider-Man as well. Overall, I really enjoy this figure. It's got all the articulation the Tech Suit Spider-Man has, except for the head. It is a little bit limited, but it's still fun to pose and aesthetically just looks a lot more fluid. Again, a lot of that has to do with the sculpt and how the articulation points are cut, and overall does a pretty good job in hiding those gaps. Is it worth picking up? Well, like most web exclusives, it will cost you a bit more than a regular release, so around $65 or 7,000 yen. If you picked it up directly from Bandai. But if you're not really into this particular design, then you might be better off just sticking with the Marvel Legends version, which I still think is a fantastic figure. In saying that, it does check a lot of boxes for a Spider-Man figure. It's fantastic articulation, you can do the 4-point crouch, nice proportions, and all the accessories you would need to set up a great Spider-Man pose. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up if you did and leave us a comment down below. What's your favorite Spider-Man suit? For me, mine would be the classic red and blue, but other than that, I would have to say the symbiote Spider-Man suit. Anyway guys, thank you always for watching. You guys are awesome. If you're new to the channel, thank you for dropping by. Please feel free to subscribe and hit that bell button. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye.